Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and don't be that player. What player, you might ask? Well, I'm sure we've all had a bad encounter or had that time where somebody's been a little bit salty, rude, or whatever. And you know what? We've all probably fit this mold at some point in time in our Magic playing careers. But today I figured I would bring you 10 traits or 10 archetypes of a player to not be. Now, a disclaimer before this. 1, don't take it all too seriously. I, myself, definitely fit into at least one of these sometimes, and it's all a work in progress. And 2, this is meant more towards casual games, whether it be kitchen table Magic, casual practice, or a casual commander, not a tournament setting. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into Don't Be This Player. Starting in at number 1, we have the Rules Lawyer and the Angle Shooter. So what's the Rules Lawyer and the Angle Shooter? So when you're sitting down to play a casual game, right? Plenty of times people will miss triggers. They might not quite get the rules. They might misplay or something like that. And a lot of times people will let them take it back. You know, it's a casual game, especially those amongst friends or just, you know, people hanging out at the card store. Say they miss a trigger on their Authority of the Councils. Somebody will be like, all right, yeah, you can gain the 1. The Angle Shooter and Rules Lawyer is that person who's going to hold the game to the absolute letter of the law and not allow for growth and mistakes to happen where you can take backsies. They're there as just a stick in the mud. Now, there's a time and place to enforce rules, right? Like if somebody's like, well, I'm going to take back something from 3 turns ago, you know, then the table's going to probably agree no. But if somebody is like, oh, I'm going to play this forest. Oh, wait, no, can I play something else instead? Immediately, let them do it. It's pretty chill. You know, like I said, this is not in a competitive setting. So we can have some room for errors. I know that, like, I make mistakes all the time. Lord knows, despite the fact that I've been playing this game since, like, I don't know when Judgment came out, 2000, 2001, sometime in there, I still make mistakes on the daily. There's so many different rules and flavor text, or not flavor text, keywords and abilities and interactions that people are going to make mistakes. It's okay to let that person undo something if it's right there in the moment in a casual game. At number 2, we have the Salt Miner. We all know this person, right? You go into a pod, everybody seems chill. All of a sudden, on turn 1, person windmill slams Ancient Tomb into Soul Ring, into Arcane Signet, and then the next player windmill slams a Mountain, pitching a Simian Spirit Guide, and shatters the Soul Ring. And then the person who had that explosive turn 1 scoops, right? Or that person who's like, oh, I'm playing my commander down. My commander's a 40-40. I'm going to go in. And then you Swords to Plowshares them, and they flip out. The Salt Miner is the person that complains about bad luck. The person is like, I just have the worst luck in Magic. This is awful. This is stupid. But at the same time is running 24 lands in their commander deck. The Salt Miner is the person who gets mad at every play the opponent does. The opponent plays creatures, they're mad. If the opponent turns those creatures sideways, they're mad. If the opponent draws more than one card a turn, they're mad. And every time they lost, it's because it's somebody else's fault, not their own, that they lost. The Salt Miner. Please don't be the Salt Miner. It's okay to be humble in defeat. It's okay to have interaction in Magic. It is a 4-player game. If we were playing Solitaire, then it would be a single-person game, but interaction's gonna happen, friends. You gotta learn to get through it. I know that in my yesteryears, I would get salty at Wasteland when I was playing 12 Post in Legacy, and yeah, that was in a tournament setting, but I had to learn that I was playing a deck that runs a lot of non-basic lands. Wasteland is good against me. Had to learn to not be salty. If I can learn to not be salty, so can you, friends. Next up, we have the Tryhard and the Sweat Lord. So the Tryhard and the Sweat Lord, they are those people, and these are my least favorite kind of people when it comes to casual games, that they're like, We sit down for our pod. I'm sitting there with my bracket 2 upgraded precon. Person B, same thing. Person C, same thing. Person D is like, yeah, okay, I'll play with this. And then they proceed to pull out a bracket 4 or a CEDH deck and kill you on turn 1, 2, or 3 when everybody else is playing a bracket 2 deck and the rule 0 pre-conversation was around low power. This is the person who needs to win at all costs, the person who derives all of their joy in life from pub stomping. Don't be this guy, right? Winning at a card game is not the most important achievement you can have in your life. Being a good person, relaxing, making some friends at the card store, that sounds a heck of a lot better than, windmill slamming, coming in and pub stomping, right? I will say I see this a lot more in Spell Table than I do in in-person games, because Spell Table, there's no consequences. You kind of have the anonymity of the internet, right? Like, you may see a screen name, but you're not there in person at the card store to be like, yo, why you gotta be such a jerk? But yeah, that is the try hard and the sweat lord. They curb stomp pods for fun. They're the ones that don't listen to the rule 0. They're the ones that punch down. Next up, we have the alpha gamer. The alpha gamer is that person who tells everybody how to play their turns and how to play their cards, what they should have done better, and thinks they are the best Magic player in the world. I am like the opposite of the alpha gamer because I think I am a pretty terrible Magic player. The only times I will give advice and stuff is when it's to help somebody out if they miss something important. But the alpha gamer is there to control the entire game, right? They try to dominate everybody's turn, not just with their own plays, but controlling how other people play the game and interact with the game. Don't be this kind of person. This kind of person doesn't allow for space for others to be comfortable and doesn't allow for growth of other players to learn from their mistakes, learn how to play their decks. And honestly, oftentimes those people know how to play their decks just fine. It's just the alpha player absolutely wanting to shoehorn in there and take control of the game. Next, we have Sid the Sloth. Sid the Sloth is the person who takes 25 minutes in a game turn without progressing the game state. They're the person that sits there, taps their lands, untaps their lands, looks with top again, looks with top again, looks with top again, looks with top again, right? Seeing the same 3 cards. That guy who's like, I'm going to take 45 minutes drawing cards and then I'm going to pass turn without doing anything at all. Same person that will respond to somebody's spell by topping 18 times and then doing nothing with their top. That person is taking up a disproportionate amount of the time. This is a 4-player format in Commander where time is already an issue, right? Because we naturally are timesing the normal time budget per player and multiplying that by 4 instead of by 2. Be conscientious of other people's time in the game. I've got places to be, I've got stuff to do, and I can tell you that if I tell my wife Danae that I'm gonna go play some games of Magic, and then I don't, she doesn't hear from me after 9 hours, 1, she might send out a search and rescue party, and 2, if I tell her that I was trapped in a Magic game, she's gonna be real salty. But yeah, be conscientious of other people's time. I try to be. Even when I'm playing Control, I try to at least make my turns fast. Next up, this one kind of goes with the salt mine. This is our resident local rage quitter. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen this, both in salt. I was gonna say salt, both in Spell Table and in real life. So the rage quitter is that person. They play their 3 lands, they play their commander, somebody doomblades their commander, they immediately leave the game. Don't do that. Don't do that. It throws off the dynamics of the game. If if somebody is quitting in the first 3 turns of the game, or say somebody counters one of their spells, just a meaningless spell, they can easily recover, does not shut them down, and they scoop the game out of pure spite and hatred. Don't do that. Like, friend, it's gonna be okay. You don't have to win every single game of Magic, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to be the person who's just rage leaving everything. I promise you, if you stick in that game, sure, you may be upset in the moment, but looking back on it, you're gonna think that you looked kind of like a jerk. So take a note out of the movie Anger Management, say goose raba, and then take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. It's gonna be okay. It's only a game. Why do you gotta be so mad? Next up, we have the Buzzkill / Shusher. We all sit down, group of friends, we're chilling. Say 3 of us sit down at a commander table for a casual game. Say you're just there by yourself, gather up some people for just a light, fun, casual game. People are joking, people are vibing, and then you got that guy who's like shutting every single thing down, hyper fixating on the game. And I get it. Some people want to focus, but in a really light, casual commander where you've already had that conversation where things are going to be light, chill. Even in your friend groups, I've seen this where there's the person that's just locked in, right? They don't care about the side conversation. They don't care about the small talk from friends getting together after a while. They're there to focus on the game. And while I get that, and while I understand, friend, especially like if you're in a friend group and you haven't seen each other in a while, you can always practice for that competitive game of Magic, right? You can always lock in. You cannot get those moments with your friends and the people you care about back. I promise you that. You cannot get those moments back, and they will remember that way in that interaction. And it's even worse with random folks, right? If you want to make friends and things like that, if you want to have a good reputation at your LGS, be that friendly person. Don't go in there to shut down other people's fun. Next up, we have the elitist, or the bourgeoisie, if you will. The elitist mocks budget decks, proxies, and new players. I have been personally mocked for having proxies. You can't afford a real candelabra, you shouldn't be playing proxy. Well, bud, I did have candelabras, I sold them, and now they are more than my monthly mortgage payment for one card. Not paying that much for one single piece of cardboard. Sorry. And they're the same person that will shame the new player who has an upgraded precon when they've got the super blinged out deck, and they're just like, oh, that's what you're playing, you shouldn't even bother playing. Don't be that person, right? It's okay to have a super blinged out deck. My friend Mitch has an incredible, amazing Crash deck that's super blinged out. He's got German foil Crash in a hard case. He's got a blinged out CEDH deck. But you know what Mitch doesn't do? He doesn't rub that in people's faces. He doesn't use that deck's bling as a way to punch down at the people who don't have a blinged out deck. He celebrates his cool deck, and that's his way of expressing himself without deliberately using that to punch down on people. So do not be part of the bourgeoisie. Recognize that everybody has a different walk of life, and they are doing the best that they can with the cards that they have. And sometimes, people don't have to express themselves with the serialized one of one Eldrazi card, right? Sometimes the person's expressing themselves by just having a full art foil land from Edge of Eternities, right? Meet people where they are, and you know what? Be cool about it, right? Don't be a jerk. Next up, we have one that I am guilty of. I will be the first to admit that I am guilty of this. It is the phone zombie. Person who checks out, scrolls on their phone during games. Oops. I am kind of bad with this. Not only in Spell Table, but also sometimes in friend groups. If I have nothing to do and there's a turn that is taking too long, I don't know if I've been infected with TikTok brain or what, but I will do this. I'll be like, oh, and you'll see me like this, just like that, and kind of zoning out, and they'll be like, what happened? And I gotta get better at that. I partially made this list so we can all kind of laugh at ourselves, joke about these archetypes of players, and then self-improve, right? So what I have started doing is when I play at over spell table or webcam magic with friends, is I take my phone, and I set it out of reach. So that way I don't get tempted to grab it and sit there with my face down like this when I should be talking to my friends or the other players. Please don't be the phone zombie. I need to stop being the phone zombie sometimes. Sometimes I'm really good, but there are other times I don't know if it's attention deficit or what have you, but that phone is awfully tempting. But yeah, phone zombie, no good for social interaction. And lastly, and honestly, most seriously, I'm going to ask everybody, looking directly into the camera here, please, 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 for the love of God and all that is holy, by all the powers in the universe, do not bring Gooner sleeves, Gooner mats, or Gooner altars or proxies to your local LGS. Don't do it, friends. Just please don't. I promise you, people will, they may not say anything in the moment, but one, you're probably making them feel uncomfortable, and two, I know that they're probably judging you for it. Please, please don't do that. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone on to Etsy or one of the custom proxy sites and looked at some of the proxies people have made, because I like looking at custom cards. Hell, I've made some custom cards of my own for historical figures, and the amount of unclothed anime women on there is it's a deluge, let me tell you. And so I'm gonna come at you like this, right? So what you do in the comfort of your own home, that's none of my business. That's fine. That's cool. Do it. You do you. If your friends are perfectly comfortable and fine with those sleeves, those play mats, those things in a private setting, more power to you. Play them there. Do not bring them to a public store like an LGS where there are potentially children, right? Because most LGSs do more than Magic, and although most Magic players do tend to skew a little bit older than, say, Pokemon, etc., you can have parents in there with their kids, whether it be for Pokemon or even Magic players, right? So I'm a dad, and when my little girl is old enough, like say 10 or 11, and wants to start learning to play Magic, I might bring her into the store to look at cards and stuff. I don't want her to see that, right? And she shouldn't have to be subjected to things like that just by going into a store. And this is my ask of LGSs. Have some stricter rules about it. I get that right now it's really hard to be an LGS because of profit margins and things like that. But just give that person a polite, hey man, would you please use like these generic dragon shields instead of that? And here, you know what? I'll use an example. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is pretty PG compared to this. I have a playmat. This playmat right here, right? I love comedy and I love Jurassic Park, so I bought this playmat. I will play this playmat with my friends. They know about it. They think it's hilarious. I will not bring this playmat right here to my local LGS because although it is pretty tame, I just don't want to be that guy that makes somebody uncomfortable, right? Maybe somebody doesn't want to see that. So I'm just not going to do it, right? I'll play it with my friends because they think it's funny. They think it's a meme. But I'm not going to do it, friends. Do not be a Gooner. Just please don't. Please, please, please. I promise you, you will make so many more friends. You will have so many more comfortable interactions if you just don't do it. Just don't. Please. Please, I'm begging of you. This is Weston begging you. Please don't be a Gooner. And with that is the end of our 10. So with the end of our list, what did you think of these archetypes? Are there any that you fit into? Are there any that absolutely have you see red? Are there any that you're kind of self-reflecting like, yeah, I do that, I need to get better? What ones are the ones that frustrate you the most? What are the ones you don't like interacting with? And kind of let me know. But you know, I don't want to end this on like a harsh note of lecturing people, right? So I'm going to put out a second video. Instead of don't be that player, I'm going to put out one that has 10 things of be this player. Things I love to see in other people and maybe myself. I don't know. I'm pretty self-critical to make the game better. So I'll see you in that one probably tomorrow. But as always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon. Let me know what you thought of this, and I will see you all in the next video.